Hello, it's Amy. I thought I would read aloud from a book titled A Londoner's Calendar. It says the author is the Old Stager. This is, of course, an older book, 1925. It's a collection of essays or art anecdotes, if you will. But they are categorized by the month of the year. And so I thought I would open it up here and take us to the month of August. Which begins with a section called The Londoner's Own. And I have never been to London, but evidently this author spent a great deal of time in London. So The Londoner's Own. Each year at the end of December, the end of March, and the end of July, Old Time, with horny fingers, draws a double line in his ledger. These are the real divisions of the year. The 3 chapters or acts of the annual comedy. August is from July, poles apart. There are many people who will tell you they wouldn't miss August in London for anything. You go as you please, wear what you like, treat London like a foreign capital, and really see some of its wonders. Then you find a few intimate friends and really see and talk with them. Dine at your club and get a game of bridge and have a chance for once to read something besides the stop press news. That's what they say, these people, but they are philosophers. What they might say is, in London in August you may walk the pavement like a cat on hot bricks, with dust in your eye, grit in your nostrils and gloom in your heart. A charwoman cooks your breakfast in the manner which so endeared her to her late lord and master. Your club is shut, and, like a new boy at his public school, you meet the contemptuous glances of alien porters and unwelcoming members of some hospitable substitute. Your family write cheerfully of blue sky and sea, old friends, and report to the first bags on the moors, and the daily papers devote a column to shooting tenants or grouse prospects. Indications that you are in need of rest and holiday creep in. Your nerves begin to fray. When the young woman cuts you off in the middle of a telephone conversation, you say the word that's nearest and it shocks you and even the telephone girl. You suddenly realize that you want to kill the fat woman who dawdles, barring your progress to the top of a bus. Everything with which you come in contact is out to plague you, to rub you up. Stations congested with holiday makers, porters tired out and rude, newspapers featuring sunburnt bathers, paragraphs reporting Cows Week and shooting parties, and the occupants of the sleepers on the Scotch mail. And these minor irritations induce self-pity and introspection. Your call with your neighbor at the club dinner, the chef appears to be on holiday, that the good times of the year are over. When London opens out again, autumn will be on you. There'll only be the 5 fine at St. Martin's summer days in October, which will probably come in the middle of the week. And then long months of darkness, unemployment, influenza, and looking back, you really feel, yes, definitely, that you are an old man. The younger generation is beyond you, frivolous, light-headed, empty-headed. Really, you don't know what the world is coming to. It is time to retire to the chimney corner. In short, August in London. However, as you know, I range myself inconspicuously on the side of the genial, the mellow, the philosophic. I bid for the first of these canvases. It will grow on you. August in London, as depicted by our philosopher, may not be everybody's meat, but it can be made tolerable. True, you are very much alone, and the uninterrupted society of males is inclined to pall. But look at it this way. What is August in London but 4 little blocks of 5 days each, sandwiched in between long and pleasant weekends? During those 5-day periods, you may even wear grey flannels and crepe-soled shoes, whereby many of the innocent pleasures of the burglar become yours. Smoke your pipe and dawdle over your luncheon. In the dim, cool rooms of the club, you really can linger over the books you have pretended all the summer to have read and have freely criticized in conversation. And sauntering back through the parks and historic streets, you will gain an infinity of pleasure by unearthing your knowledge of old London, its vanished fields and lanes and streams, its storied houses and the ghosts of history and past Londoners, who in strangely different environment thought your thoughts and have gone to their place. The soil of London will see all the generations and all the architecture out. The soil of London is the soul of London. It has suffered at man's hands embellishment and disfigurement. Man builds his toy brick palaces and pulls them down, and erects other designs, but underneath the litter, the hills, the dales, and streams and woods are still there, needing only the breath of nature to bring back the scene on which the first of our London visitors feasted his eyes, God knows how many years before history. And sometimes, when detaching your mind from its environment, you contemplate those sheep feeding on the little grassy hill in the Green Park near Hyde Park Corner, you can almost reclothe London in its virgin greens and contours, no different from the country scenes for which your heart is hungering. A harmless, wholesome pastime for Buddhists during a London August. And so that is his first musing here on the month of August. And, sometimes it's really like that in the city. August is not the most pleasant month for city dwellers, especially when you're far enough into the summer where you're starting to, crave that taste of fall, as I am doing at the moment. And it will be September before we know it here.